So today's video, we're going to discuss how we drop 10 kg with a client in 10 weeks. I've actually spoke about this transformation before, but I didn't give you the specifics of we pulled this on this week and this is the result we got. And I do appreciate that is where a lot of you gain the value from. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we did now. The disclaimer is everyone's body's different and everyone responds slightly different, where different changes are going to need to be made at different components and different times. That said, the principles always remain the same, and I'll teach you why and when you make changes, and that's ultimately what you're going to gain from this video. So we're going to be speaking about weekly changes to get results. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tom Sergey. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this each and every week. My promise to you is by the end of the video, you'll know how to drop 10 kg in 10 weeks, and let's waste no time and roll in. So first thing you want to do is set yourself up accordingly. So with his setup and his starting point, we believed he was sat... At first, I've rolled out this setup with 20%. Maybe in hindsight, we pulled 10 kg off. He's definitely sub 10, maybe around the 8 space here. You let me know in the comments what you think. So maybe he was sat more around 18%, but I went with 20 at the time. That meant his calorie setup was 2,365. I always start with 20 minutes of daily cardio because I want to get people moving and the output to do a lot of the work before we have to pull from food, and 10k steps moving forward. Now, before I show you the exact changes we made, what I want you to do is, once you've set yourself up, again, you're just going to estimate what your starting calories are realistically. It's only an estimate. You'll only truly know after running the diet for 1 week to listen to understand to your body of how it responded. I would start yourself on cardio first because you can keep food higher for longer, and you'll see that from the changes made that we had that privilege, and your steps are also going to help with you as well. So burn through output, then take from food after. That's probably my main method that I use to get all results from. Output first, taking from food second. Now, one thing I will want you to do is I want you to track your scale weight for 7 days, not 6, not 3, 7. Every fucking day, weigh yourself. At the same time, once you've woken up, been to the bathroom, then you log your scale weight. Take photos weekly, track all of your nutrition daily, do not miss a single beat. If it goes in your mouth, it's tracked and it's on the plan that you've set for yourself. Track all your steps, make sure as a non-negotiable you've hit your 10k. It's either done on a watch or your phone, but you can put your hands on and tell me exact amount of steps you did on day 3 of that week. Track your sleep to make sure that is consistent, and if it's not, up your fucking game, because sleep is, you're going to grow when you sleep. You're gonna find it easier to drop off body fat if cortisol is lower. So that's going to be done through good quality sleep as well. So don't miss when it comes to sleeping. Now you're going to track that data for 7 days, and it's going to give you a few things. You'll have either drop weight, perfect. Don't change anything. Rinse and repeat it again for another week. You won't have dropped weight. Then you need to make a change, or you didn't drop weight, but you weren't adherent. Then you're the issue, and then go watch my previous video on why you're not dropping body fat. And the solutions that are in that last video. It was a transformation we did with an older guy. Watch that, skip towards the end, and it tells you about the principles and mindsets that you need to go through. Now I'm going to give you the specifics that we used. So week 1, we didn't need to make any changes. Started him in a calorie deficit, and we started him on high cardio. So we saw that drop off. Week 2, it started to plateau out touch, and we preempted and pushed the cardio to 30 minutes daily. Gave us a good 2 solid weeks. We didn't really need to make any changes. A disclaimer, in week 4, he had to eat out for a meal for a birthday. So we took a bit of food during the week, but gave it back at the weekends. Maybe he was in a little bit of a deficit, potentially, but that's just something to consider there. Then we pushed it again to 40 minutes of cardio. Week 6, we made no changes. So of the 10-week transformation, we didn't make changes for at least the first full 6 weeks before we even pulled from food. Then we went aggressive, pulled 200 calories straight out, saw another drop off, and then we pulled another 100 calories at the last space there. So ultimately all I did was read the data every week, see how it was looking, and then made the changes accordingly. On multiple occasions I didn't need to because the drop offs were coming sweet and fast, and ultimately he started in a pretty good position. He was training like a savage, so he was always going to burn quite nicely. This is a primal example of someone that's been training for a while but hasn't nailed their nutrition, and when they do, they turn into an absolute animal. And this is probably a lot of you watching. A lot of guys are like our similar age, trained well for a while, but just don't have the full look they could have, and they just need to run a quick cleanup phase, and they'll showcase a lot of the tissue that they've got. You may think he looks bigger. He's actually lighter, at least 10 kg lighter, hence the title. And it's because you look bigger when you're leaner. You showcase all the tissue you've got, and that you don't need to drop body fat You don't need to lose muscle in a short 10-week dieting phase. You really, really don't, especially not when food is high. When food is high, performance is high. If performance is high, you retain and you build the tissue. But ultimately, what you're going to do is you're going to read the data, and you're either going to pull from food, which you're going to save towards the end. But I pull from cardio first, as I keep saying. But ultimately, you'll do what you want. If your appetite is poor and you would rather just take it from food and you'd rather move less because you haven't got time, then you're going to have to opt through that. Again, you're dependent on your thing. The point I'm making is track data, read the data, make the decision off the data, and then move forward. Most people, and this sounds basic and obvious, but I'm not going to lie, most motherfuckers that want to get in shape, that watch YouTube videos, they don't even track data. They couldn't even tell me how many steps they did like 2 weeks ago because they don't know. They couldn't put their hands on it. They couldn't tell me their scale weight and how it's been trending because they don't fucking track it. So like the main message of this video is track your data. Once you've got 7 days worth of data, add some more cardio and watch the scale weight drop down, and you'll get to where you need to. But most of you just don't track stuff, so fucking track it. These are the changes we made. I know it was requested in the comments after the last transformation, so here it is. And if you found it useful, great. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.